Hola, hola. It's your girl, Erica from America. Welcome to the Confidence Chronicles podcast. This podcast is all about helping you stand in who you are. Stop giving a fuck what people think about you. Start standing as your fully expressed self. As you are, queen, as is, there is no filter needed. You are fucking awesome. And I am here to remind you, I'm a confidence coach, a business mentor, a speaker, an author, and I am obsessed with women standing up, showing up, and creating their confidence. And I cannot wait to dig into today's episode with you. Hello, my love. Welcome to today's podcast episode. I hope you're good. I'm super excited to bring you this episode. Y'all know, especially if you're in business, that legals are important and it can feel like such a boring and heavy topic. And I get it. I totally get it. However, I wanted to do this episode because, oh my goodness, it is wild when you own a business and you notice that you need a lawyer, or you notice that some client is giving you trouble, or you notice that some shit's just hit the fan and it's almost like too late. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to make sure that I shared this episode with you. It's a little bit of me sharing a behind the scenes of how I run my business and the mistakes that we've made and the lessons that we've learned when it comes to protecting our legacy. Like, I want my business to be here for a long time, like 500 years. I want to be long gone and my business is still rocking and the impact that I came here to make is still happening. That's super important for me. And I don't know about you, but for me, when I first started my business, there were two things that I didn't give a shit about. I didn't want to know my numbers. I didn't want to count things and find out my expenses. I just was like, nah, I don't care. It's not important. Who cares? And I didn't want to talk about legalities and terms and conditions, boring, all that. And let me tell you, I coach women in business and I see that my homegirls in business feel the same way that I used to feel and do not get this shit sorted. And it's a really big mistake that we make for whatever reason. Maybe you've got shit around money, or you don't want to look at numbers, or you don't want to be faced with the truth, or you don't understand it. Therefore, it makes you feel stupid and you're like, I don't want to do this shit. I don't know how to do this. And you just give up and don't try. With legalities, most of the time, if I'm honest, what I've seen is my clients look for a lawyer when it's a little bit too late. And so I hope that this episode makes you shift the way you think about business legals and about creating something that has a legacy and something that you can work with for a very long time. I hope that you learn a bit about not only do you need legals for obviously difficulties, terms and conditions and clients, but how you set up your business and thinking ahead of what kind of business you want to have, what kind of structure in business you want to have, what kind of operational things do you want to put in line so that you can have so much more ease and flow. And I'll tell you right now that Tracey, who is on today's episode, she's a lawyer, dear friend now. She's completely changed my life when it comes to dealing with difficulties in my business. So we obviously have a lot of volume. We've had over 7,000 women join our programs from 60 plus countries. And it's incredible. However, that's a lot of people to manage. And I've always wanted to create a business that served thousands and millions of people. I never wanted to have 5 clients paying $100K a year. I wanted to have a shitload of clients and I wanted to make it viable for people to work with us, right? So my business model has always been multiple people. And it is something that obviously you get a lot of emails. You have to manage clients. Customer service needs to be next level. And that's super important to us. And I feel like the legalities of business are an extension of your customer service and how you treat your clients and how you treat your impact and your legacy that you are leaving. So this is a must listen if you are in business, if you want to start a business. Oh my goodness, you're going to love this episode. I am introducing you to my lawyer, my business lawyer, Tracey, who is the jam. This woman is not only an incredible lawyer, she's become a dear friend and a confidant that we go to for up-leveling in our business, for protecting our legacy, for protecting our long-term business, and making sure that we are doing the right thing by our clients, by our company, by our values, and by ourselves. So I want to introduce you to her because I think that one of the biggest opportunities we have as business women who are trying to build legacy, impact the world, do something important, gain our visibility, go out there and create products and courses and things that serve the clients that we're trying to help, is get across our legalities. Now, Tracey works in Australia. So if you're in the United States or other countries, she's not exactly telling you what to do. However, what she does share can be used in other countries. So make sure that when you listen to today's episode, you head to the show notes, click on the link. She's got some resources for you no matter where you are in the world. She is a very special kind of lawyer. She will share about this in the episode, but she's a litigation lawyer. And what that means is she knows how to create terms that people cannot fight you on. Now, obviously, we don't want to talk about people that are hard or clients that are difficult. And we don't want to think about that when we're creating products and services and trying to help people. However, baby, that does happen. We will get called out. There will be people who try us and who challenge us and who maybe do the wrong thing by you in your business. And unfortunately, if you do not look at this, if you do not get across this, you're not going to be prepared and your business can fail. And there can be a lot of damage done to businesses when we don't have our legals sorted. Very similar to finances. When you don't got your money sorted, there can be damage done to your business. So I wanted to introduce her. She's helping me in my business, and we share a little bit about some of the things that I've moved through personally behind the scenes under the hood of our business, the Queen of Confidence. Hello, gorgeous Tracey. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, Erica. Thank you for having me. I can't wait for this conversation.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So everybody already knows how obsessed with you I am and how amazing I think you are. But for anyone who is listening to this, and this specific podcast is for women in business. Yeah. Women in business who have impact to make and need to get their legal shit sorted. Okay. And know about this. So for anyone listening, what do you do? Tell us all about the work that you do.
Yeah, I would love to. I am a different type of lawyer. No BS, honestly. No beating about the bush, no BS, because been there, done that, been corporate, done all of the things. So when you think of lawyer, I mean, you think differently now, but most people go, oh, boring, dry, snobbish, stuck up, patronizing, all the things. And I get it because I lived it for so long and I share that view a lot of the time. I don't have friends who are lawyers. I don't. I do it differently now. I've come from a background of helping people out of those big black holes that people end up in when things go wrong in business. And I spent so many years doing that. Now I've built a business which is designed to meet women in business where they are, to help them with what they need. So who needs to travel for a long time into the city to find parking, take up half a day and come and sit in some fancy office and look at the certificates behind me on the wall about all the qualifications I've got to get their legal advice? They don't want it. So I don't do it. I really flipped it on the head about 4 years ago, and I've created a business model where I act for business women all over the country who value themselves and who want to protect what they're building. So we set women up in business to avoid having to call someone like me later when things go wrong. And we do all that with an ethos of empowerment, and prevention's better than cure. So I want to educate and empower women in business to set themselves up properly, protect themselves legally so that they are good to go and they don't need to call me later if something goes wrong because they're set up properly.
You're just the best. So I met you, last year. I feel like it was social media that brought us together because of another person I met from social media.
Yes.
Yeah. And we connected straight away. And I thought that I was covered. And I'm like, I've paid a lawyer. I've got the terms. By the way, one of the biggest things that bother me about women in business is that we don't think about this. And maybe you're listening to this and you're like, I didn't even know I needed to think about this. You get a hall pass. Okay. But for those of you out there who've been in business for a while and you know your terms are weak and you know maybe you don't even have terms, you don't have any conditions on your retreats or your coaching programs or your website terms, and you know you have ignored it. Like for you, I want to say to you, get your shit sorted. Okay. Because it's one of my big pet peeves. And we've talked about this before. I was on Tracey's podcast, so we will link that in the show notes so people can go and listen to how it feels like working with you. But the two pet peeves I have is that we as women in business do not get our money sorted. We're like, I don't know my numbers. I don't know how to use zero. Profit and loss. What is that? And it pisses me off. Like, enough, ladies. Let's get our shit together when it comes to money. And the second one is legals. We either fully ignore it or we pretend that the bullshit copy and pasting or templates you get on Facebook ads when you're on Facebook are enough. And so I wanted to bring you on because I think that the listeners really need the loving bitch slap that is get your legals sorted. So what do you see is the biggest problem when you do get someone, a woman in business, who comes to you in a panic? Can you explain a little bit of this stuff that when it goes wrong so that obviously we can prevent that?
Yeah, absolutely. So first thing is what I find a lot of the time is women are coming to me and they're quite openly saying, I don't know. I don't know what I need. I've heard you or I've listened to you or your podcast or someone or Erica or something, and I don't know what I need. And that's okay. There's no judgment. We don't know what we don't know. We deal with that. We go in and I'll talk about that a little bit more. The second way people come to me is they say, oh, I have used templates or I have Googled something or I copied my friend who has a business similar to me. So I thought I was good. And they've heard me somewhere say what I say almost every day to someone, DIY is for Bunnings, not for your legals.
Bunnings is a home repair shop for anybody who's not in Australia. It's like a trade shop, right? They have
It is
building the stuff.
Have this last minute decision or this really great idea on Saturday morning, driving your husband crazy going, oh my gosh, I want to do this now. Let's do it today. It needs to be done now. And I don't want to spend all that much money on it because it's just an idea I've got. So let's go to Bunnings and we'll grab a few things and we'll DIY it and we'll put it up in the garden or the shed or the house or whatever you do. And that's what I say I liken templates to in your business. So you've bought a template or you've copied your friends. That's a DIY job. Don't DIY job with your legal documents for so many reasons. And I've talked about this on quite a few episodes. So go listen to that if you really want to dive deep into why I genuinely hand on heart say to every single person I speak to, do not DIY your legal documents. DIY other stuff, not this. Then there's the women that come to me because something's gone wrong. And most of the time it's something like, I've got online programs and people won't pay. I've got coaching containers. I've got a mastermind container. Someone wants out. I've just been hit with a claim or a demand for a refund because people say they're not getting the results I promised. Oh my gosh, I didn't make that promise. Did I? All of that, it's a hot mess and you want to stay right away from that. Once we get there and people are coming to me to help them dig out of this hole, this smoking hole that's been created, sure, I can. Of course I can. I spent 12 years doing this. This is all I did was acting for people when things go wrong. It's bloody expensive. As soon as you go to a lawyer to dig you out of a hole because you're in a dispute and something's gone wrong, it's expensive because it takes us so much time.
Yeah.
There's a better way to spend your money. There's a better way. If we can set you up properly, if you're a coach or you're creative or a consultant in this space and you've got services that you're selling, you need to make sure you are legally protected. If you're in Australia, you need to make sure that you are complying with your obligations under the consumer law. Each country is different. I can't help people in other countries because we're limited to the country that we're in. But each country has its own rules and regulations around what you have to tell consumers and clients, but when you have to tell it. So there's a lot of intricate stuff that I don't want to bore people with, but you've got to get it right.
Totally.
If you don't get it right, chances are if you end up in the hot seat and something's gone wrong, you might not be able to rely on any documents you have in place because you didn't do it all in the right order. So there's so much to know, But the point is, don't wait until it goes wrong because it's going to cost you so much more.
Yeah.
Not to mention the time and energy. You know what it's like when something goes wrong or there's some thorn in your side or a stone in the shoe. You spend it of growing your business and supporting your team and being creative.
Yeah. And we get those thorn in the shoe. We get those. Okay. Listen, the reality is that we want to be all love and light and think that everybody's lovely and amazing and no one's going to do bad things to you and that we're going to always do the right thing with the best intentions. But I'll share a little story of my own experience, like why I love you so much. And I appreciate having you as a part of our family and team, because Tracey's not like one stop. That's it. See you never. Like Tracey and I, we work together a lot. Like you, according to me, you're a part of my budget. You're in my business. Like my team love you. My husband and I talk to you a lot about things. You're our lawyer, right? Like you're my business lawyer. And there are so many things we don't think about that we're going to need. And so I think that when I met you, I had these terms that I had got from a lawyer someone mentioned some lawyer who was apparently really good, was representing all these other cool people, name dropping. And I was like, okay, cool. And it felt super, how do I say it? It just felt very boring, very click here, do this, da, da, da. Yeah. What do you need it for? Okay, cool. I'll get it back to you. It was just boring, just really boring. No spicy, no fun, no nothing. And it wasn't custom. So I have imagined that my terms, other people have the same terms. And you can see why people then just go, let me copy and paste. I don't want to spend $5,000 for some terms that someone's just going to put my name and someone else's name. So I didn't know. It was like, you don't know what you don't know, as you said earlier. So I had these terms. It was fine until I think we had some issues with payment. So if you're listening to this and you're a coach or you're a consultant or you're a healer or you're a therapist and you do a program that has a payment plan or monthly payment, recurring subscription, anything like that, you are going to get people that are not going to pay you. You could be the nicest person. I think I'm pretty damn nice. You could love people. You could care for people. You could want it more than them. You will one day get someone that is going to be a jerk and fight your terms, want a refund, wants to steal your content. We've got friends, Tracey and I, someone else you're managing and working with, and they've got someone who's ripped their whole program, downloaded it, and is reselling it for cheaper. Like, this shit happens. Okay. So it's not if it happens, someone will do something and your terms will be questioned and people will try you. Hello, my love. I need to interrupt this episode because I gotta tell you some exciting news. The Sisterhood program is open. The Sisterhood is a coaching experience where I, Erica Kramer, am coaching you for 12 plus months of your life. It is such an incredible community, and we are working on you standing in your power, healing your past, letting go of all the things that hold you down, that stop you from being who you want to be, how you want to be, getting what you want. It is the most intense experience where we get to coach live. I get to support you. We get to ship out beautiful things to your house. I love me some snail mail. And you get to connect and do the work with like-minded queens who are also unraveling, creating what they want. The Sisterhood is only open for a limited time. So if you're listening to this, we are open now. We are only going to open a few times this year. Usually we did it about 6 times in the year. This year is different. We're actually being really intentional with how we open this program. Why? Because I want you to be ready. If you are ready to let go of the bullshit that holds you down, if you are ready to put yourself first, choose yourself, and get into the work, trust me, it is not easy to do this work. A lot of women avoid it. We're happy to listen to podcasts and read books, but to go into our stuff and journal and coach live and put your stuff out there and actually start changing your damn life, not everybody chooses it. So I know it's not for everybody, but if you've been loving this podcast, if you're like, yo, Erica, I have 50,000 questions to ask you, this podcast has changed your life in any way, shape, or form, imagine working with us inside of the Sisterhood. I'll tell you a few cool things. We have live events. Even if you can't fly your ass to Australia, you can Zoom into these events. It is live streamed for every single member. We record everything we do. There are programs within the Sisterhood like conscious parenting, breath work, meditation, how to let go of anxiety, power couples. Hamish and I are doing power couples inside the Sisterhood. Some of the most incredible people come in to teach our members. You will get access to all of that as soon as you join us. I cannot wait to work with you. And lastly, of course, if you want to live coach with me, we be doing that every single month. I am in there live. It is a live program, the most incredible women in the world. If you're ready to stop playing small, to put yourself first, to heal the shit that is holding you down so that you can truly and genuinely create confidence and get what you want in this life, it is a fucking limited time, this life. But you can have everything you desire, the money, the relationships, the joy, the happiness, and the fulfillment. All of that is waiting for you inside of the Sisterhood. All you got to do is click the link in the show notes, set up a call. It'll be me or somebody on my team that will chat with you to see if you're a good fit. We cannot wait to welcome you. Okay, enjoy the rest of this episode. Oh, wait, one more thing. I have to say, nothing will change if you just listen to bullshit. You can listen and consume content. You could binge. But if you are not committed to actually applying the information, it's about the application of the information. That shit is how your life changes. Okay, back to it, y'all. And so I think that one of the things we need to do, if we know we're here to impact and we know we're here to have a business that's going to be sustainable, is prevention is better than cure, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what I love is when people come to me and they say, I don't know what I need to work with you on, Tracey. I don't know what I need, but I'm sure I need something. Yeah. It's a clean slate and we have a look at all the things. And this is the time. It's like marriage. When I say, when there's plenty of love and everyone's really happy and it's all really exciting, this is the time. Yeah. Exit strategies, pitfalls, possible things going on. This is the time where we put all of these things in place, because once it's gone wrong and once it's got sour and someone wants to get divorced and someone wants out, it's really hard and messy. So we do it at the beginning when it's full of love and fun and excitement. And that's the best time because we can think clearly. And with someone like me working with you, I can guide you and tell you these are the half a dozen pitfalls I can see for you. This is my experience. This is what I see a lot. Let's close that off and make sure it doesn't happen. Let's close this off and make sure it doesn't happen. What about if we draft this in? Let's make sure it doesn't happen. How do you want to deal with this? And we can go through all of that. And like I say to my clients, and particularly people that reach out to me to have a chat for the first time, I'm not the lawyer for everyone. So if you want a tick and flick, you never want to talk to me, you want me just to send you a document so that you can implement and we go our separate ways, then I'm not for you and my process won't work for you. I'm involved. I want to talk to you. I want to get to know your business. I want to know, how do you deliver your program? How does your mastermind work? I want to know how it works and how you do it and what processes and systems you use, so I can draft something and develop something with you that's going to work for you and protect you. Otherwise, it's going to be useless.
And color coordinated. Hello.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
She does make it look sexy as well, everybody.
It's got to be branded. So many times I'm seeing clients come to me saying, can you have a look at my documents for me? I bought a template from such and such. Here's the kicker. It's a lawyer drafted template, which is the worst because people then think I'm protected. Public service announcement. You are not protected just because you've bought something that's marketed as lawyer drafted. That does not mean it's good. It does not mean you're protected. There's a big takeaway for you. But they come to me and I have a look at it and I say, how do you feel? How do you feel sending this out to your clients? You're growing a business. You're a serious businesswoman. You are here to do some serious stuff. How do you feel with this document? And they just say, oh, I don't know. I haven't read it, because it's boring as hell. It's dull. It's boring. It's dry. I don't even want to read it. And I love contracts and I don't want to read it.
It's like you buy a Mercedes, new car, nice car, and you go get the oil changed at fucking Kmart or something. Like, I know for me, even if I was just starting out, even when I was starting out, Tracey, I knew, I was like, I am going to be on Oprah's couch. I'm going to have my own Oprah's couch. I'm here to do big work. Like, I knew the driving force inside of me. I had a really big why. I was on fire with my passion. If that is you, you need to get your stuff sorted when it comes to legals, because I can't imagine having a copy and paste, or I can't imagine not even thinking about that and then having to deal with an issue down the track because you didn't pre-plan, and then going, oh, you know what? Lawyers are expensive. And instead of doing that, I'm just going to go on Erica's website and copy and paste her terms and change them and spend all that time trying to figure out where it says growth consultancy and delete that. And then I'm also going to go and buy a template. It's only $50 because I don't have a big budget. You got a big ass dream. You know, you came here to do big vision. You want to help all these people. You want to charge $10K for your mastermind, but you want to pay $50 for a template of legals? I don't understand.
That's right. You are leaving yourself exposed. And I love how you framed that, because I don't understand it either. There's a real disconnect. And I think those women have got, they need a life coach. They need a business coach. They need a life coach.
Girl.
They need the sisterhood. But then you've got to work out who you are and what your why is, because your business documents, not only do they need to protect you, so you've got peace of mind and you don't ever have to worry, and you know that sinking stomach, oh, this just happened and I don't know what to do. We can avoid that for you. But your business documents also need to be something you're really proud of, because they are an extension of your business. They need to be branded. They need to feel like you. They need to look like you. They need to sound like you. They don't just sound like me. It needs to be you. It's got to work for you. Yeah. You have to be confident and proud every single time you issue them, or every single time you get a Kajabi notification that someone's just signed up to your program. You need to be proud, knowing this is the experience of working with me. This is the journey, and the documents that they've read and the terms that they've read are part of the journey. It has to be that way.
It's so good too, because I think working with you, it feels so collaborative, you know, and I want to say to anyone here, if you don't live in Australia and you can't work with this amazing human being, find someone that you can collaborate with. Find someone who gets you and gets what you're trying to do, because you work with some of the top amazing powerhouse Australian women. And even if, let's say I have an idea and you're like, oh, so-and-so did this. I've seen this before. Have you thought about this? And I love it because Trace, when I call you or I email you, I'm like, we're thinking about this. Like for us, it's really important that our clients can pay. And if somebody has an issue, they just had a baby, they lost their job. We're not like, who cares? Pay our bills. We're here to stand for women. So when someone has an issue, we try to work out how we can help them, how we can support them. And so I'll message you or email you and you have these amazing ideas that I would have never thought of. And you won't get that if you don't have someone who's collaborative. You won't get that if it's someone who's just copying and pasting and DIYing. And there have been so many things that you and I have talked about that I would have just never thought of that made our program better, that made the experience even better for the client, and that made it less of a headache for me. And now, I mean, I'm sad that I don't work so closely with you. You deal more with Hamish now because I had to take myself out of some parts of the business because that's also a thing. You know, you don't want to be in the draining portion of your business if you are the energizer bunny of your business. Can you outsource and hire? And so I cannot stress enough how helpful it's been to have the collaborative process with you. Can you tell us, because I know you came from a litigation and what that means, like how do people know to get a regular basic lawyer or someone with your expertise? Like what's that difference?
My view is when you want to learn from someone and work from someone, you want them to have done the thing, to have been in the arena. Okay. Not sitting on the sidelines, spectating and reading from textbooks. So I spent 12 years dispute resolution. That is court, mediation, going into battle, going into those punch-ups, not literally, but you know, where people really want to rip each other's head off. That's what I spent 12 years doing. And it was all for business owners and it was all, pretty much all over money when things go wrong. So what I did, my job, was to rip apart contracts, go to court with some of the country's top barristers and argue cases, either go myself and argue over why this contract should be set aside or why this contract should be enforced or where's this loophole and what's that case law. This is what I spent all my time doing. So if you want a smart ass lawyer to come along and look at a contract and rip it apart, I'm your person to do that because that's what I was paid to do for so many years. But what that means is I've been in the arena. So what that means is when I'm drafting your contracts, some smart ass lawyer is not going to be able to come along and rip it apart. Because I just made it in such a way that they can't, because that was me. So I know what I'm looking for. And I remember I got cross-examined in a case once. It was a really highly emotive case. And there was a lot riding on it. And as a solicitor, I had to be cross-examined on a particular transaction that the client did and our involvement and all of the things. And it was horrific. I hated, and I never used the word hate, but I hated that process of being cross-examined. And my barrister said to me at the time, you'll be a better litigator now because when you're prepping your clients for cross-examination, you've actually experienced it, so you'll be better. He also said commercial lawyers who do the drafting should be litigators first. They should know what it's like to litigate. They should know how this works because they'll be a better drafter. So after I left litigation practice and declared never to practice law again because it was all out of whack and out of balance and I wanted to have kids and do all the things, fast forward 5 years when I decided to set up this business, I drew on all of that. I drew on what he said. I drew on my experience. And I thought, you know what? I've actually got a better way of doing law for business owners to keep them out of court. And I'll use that experience. I will use all of that fighting and all of that battle to protect people so that they never have to get there.
So good.
So that's why I do it. And that's why there's an edge to what I do. And that's why I'm different because I've been in the arena, because I've seen it, because I know what I'm looking for. That's not to say other lawyers aren't good. There's great lawyers out there.
Yeah.
It's just if you want someone to be a part of your team, if you want someone who's going to tell you exactly what you need to know, even if you don't want to hear it, and if you want someone who can draw on all of those years fighting to protect you, then I'm your person. But like I said, I'm not for everyone because if you just want tick and flick and if you don't want my honest advice, you're not going to like working with me.
Yeah. And it's so important to find the right person, as you say, it really is, because I think for us as business women, we really need to, first and foremost, hopefully what you're getting from this episode is check your legals, make sure your stuff is sorted. If you live in Australia, we're going to put all of Tracey's details in the show notes. If you don't, get your head around what you need and making sure that you have the right protection, because it is the wild, wild west out there. You don't want to go to someone when someone's trying to battle with your terms. You know, what I think that's most important that I love having you on our team is I don't want to become sour. And I think if we're not careful And I've seen it many times with other coaches and other consultants. They take one person's wrongdoing or one person's fighting of refund and terms or one person's trolling or negative comments online. And then they blanket everyone and they yell at their clients and they get angry that no one's paying their payments. And it's such a bad way to do business. You don't want to get sour because of one or two people. It's happened to me. I'm so passionate about supporting women. I'm so in my juice. I love what I do. I don't need to live in the accounts department and see all the failed payments. I don't need to live in the legal department and seeing people fighting terms. I don't need to spend time there. However, unless I'm outsourcing that and unless I'm across it, I can't just deny it. And I think that's what we're saying here is that women are just acting like, oh, I don't need to worry about that. La, 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 la. And it's like, no, girl, get it right. Like get that shit sorted, get across it. And you can have this reality with a lawyer like we have with Tracey. I have this with my accountant and my bookkeepers, just like Tracey. I have this with my graphic designer, with my podcast team. Like we are connected together for this big mission and I'm across it, but I don't have to do it myself. And I can't say enough how much you empower me and how much peace of mind, like having peace in my heart to go, not only can no one fight my shit, but we're doing good in the world and we're not being assholes about it and we're not trying to hurt someone. And even you'll be like, well, in this area, we don't have to do that. We can do this. And that helps the client more and it still helps you. And like, what a beautiful way to be able to serve people and make sure that you can sustain. Because if you don't have your legal shit sorted, I mean, I'm sure you've seen this, that can kill your business.
Yeah,
like one lawsuit, you're done.
One lawsuit, one refund claim, one allegation, people get eaten up by it. People get eaten up by it. And what I see, which is really sad, is when business owners are so taken by surprise, all their energy and time is focused on sorting out this thing and not growing their business. They're not doing activities that are revenue generating. They're not supporting their team. It's a slippery slide and it can be really tough and challenging and it can be really hard to get off it once you're on it. We want to avoid it. We want to avoid it all together.
You're so right. Not only that, but I think when you do get into that, where's your inspiration? Where's your focus? You're focused on one person who may be difficult. And then I think your view gets a little bit tainted. And then you're like, clients are difficult. Everyone's difficult. You know, everyone's here to screw you over. And it's like, that's not really true. And I don't know if as a business owner, you should be spending your energy and time in that world because it's such a beautiful world when you have people like you. And honestly, you've been so amazing for us. And I love that we can email you and say, hey, we're thinking about this. What do you think? And you're involved now. And this is how I think it should be. If you want to find an amazing ass lawyer like Tracey, involved in the future, like, hey, I want to do this thing. I mean, we got our office space. We got our retreat stuff. Like we thought our retreats were good. Helped us with the retreat, helped us with the programs, with our payment failures, with like our legal contracts for the people that work with us. I mean, in business, there are so many things you think you don't need. And then you realize, wow. So if somebody is interested, how can they find out? And maybe they live overseas, but they want to learn from you. Where can people find you? And do you have any resources or anything that people can download? Let us know.
Absolutely. So my website is a really great place. There is a lot going on the website. My podcast, Rise Up in Business, you can go and search that or you can listen from the website. There's resources. We publish so many resources on the website because I know that people will find things super helpful. If someone's asking me, chances are more people are asking or wondering the same thing. So there's the website. That's tmsolicitor.com.au. On there as well, I have some masterclasses. So I sat down this year and I sat down and examined what are the 5 questions I get asked the most by business owners. I went and recorded masterclasses on them, which you can get on the website. It's so affordable, so effective and really efficient. It's such a great way to get information regardless of where you are. That's the information that you need. They're on the website too. And if you just don't know where to start, you don't have a clue where to start with your legals, then on the website is a checklist and you can download it. It doesn't matter if you're outside of Australia. You can get value out of that checklist and you can take it off to your own lawyer and go through it. Okay, these are the most important things for a business owner. That's on my website. You can book in to have a free chat with me on the website. And I'm always active on Instagram and my handle is at TM Solicitor. And I'm always sharing something on there. I'm on there very active. So they're the 2 places that you can find me most easily where you will get the most value out of my content.
Yes. And we're going to link everything into the show notes. So if you've enjoyed this and you're like, I need to learn more. And let me tell you, you do. Okay. You should be scared. Be scared. Get your shit sorted because it is so important for the sustainability of your business, for the legacy you are leaving, for the impact, for your joy. Like I'm so happy and fulfilled and I don't worry. I don't worry about payment failures. I don't worry about legal stuff because of Tracey. I honestly thank you because I want to stay light. I want to stay high. I want to stay energized. I don't want that shit to drain me and me blanket. Everyone is difficult. Everyone is this. Everyone is that. Because that will kill your business and your desire to serve people, which is what we are here to do. Also, business structure, the way you're set up. Oh my gosh, how many businesses are set up as like a sole trader? And you're like, what are you doing? So you know about that. Like there might be things that you don't even know you need. And this checklist that's on Tracey's website that we're linking in the show notes, you've given it to the Startup Squad, my coaching program, ladies. And I don't know how many have been like, oh my God, I didn't even know I needed this. Like Tracey's amazing. Yes. So be sure to download that. It's awesome.
Thank you, Erica, so much for having me on. This has been such a delight talking to you. I'm so grateful.
You are the bomb. Thank you for all your help. Everybody who listens to this, be sure to tag us on Instagram. Let us know what you got from this episode. And if you're interested in connecting with Tracey, we will link it in the show notes. Tracey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening. I freaking love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your ears and your energy and your attention. Thank you for letting me into your world. And thank you so much for listening and tuning in to this podcast. There are so many podcasts you can listen to. And I deeply, for real, appreciate you listening to mine. Do me one big favor, one big thing. Please share this episode or this podcast with a woman who you know needs to hear this. This is my mission on planet Earth, to serve as many women as possible so that we could show up, stand up, speak up, and create the confidence and the life that we desire. I appreciate you, my love. I will see you on the next episode.